ladies, and welcome back to the K Corner, where hormones get balanced, guts get healed, and we let the shit go intentionally and physically sometimes. Hi, I'm Kayla. I'm a holistic wellness coach, nutritionist, and your go-to girly for healing your gut and cycle syncing, detoxing, all that good stuff. And so that you can live in a body you actually want to live in. If you're into practical wellness with a little bit of sass, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, join in. I drop weekly deep dive videos into more sciencey things of hormones and all that good stuff. So let's get into it. I have my notes. Let's go. Let me put them in the right order, maybe. The right order. They are now in the right order. So let's get tucked into it. The real reason why you're tired, moody, and bloated. We're going to go over those. It's not PMS. Just spoiler alert. We'll get that out from the get-go. It's not just PMS. If you're feeling bloated, tired, moody, grumpy, snappy, all of that good stuff every single month at a specific time of the month, close to your period, it's probably not just PMS. Well, I mean, it is PMS, but there's deeper reasoning, deeper things that are going to go into that, and we're going to look into those today. If you are experiencing these kinds of symptoms, especially close to your cycle, it really just comes down to your body waving red flags and telling you something's not 100% right. So if we're tracking our cycle, we're keeping an eye on how long our cycle is, when does it start, how many days, what kind of symptoms you're experiencing. You can utilize that as a grounding base to kind of see where your hormones are at, and it gives you a good indication of what you should be focusing on. So we're going to be diving into a few of these things that could be causing the moodiness and the bloating and the quote-unquote PMS symptoms, which PMS is not normal, just by the way. Number one is estrogen dominance. The science behind estrogen dominance. Estrogen dominance is basically when your estrogen is too high in comparison to your progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone are both hormones, part of your cycle, and they fluctuate throughout the month to activate certain things in your cycle. We're not going to go too deep into it. You just need to know for today, estrogen and progesterone are both hormones that fluctuate for your cycle. When your estrogen is too high in comparison to your progesterone, that's when we get the moody, the grumpy. Basically, estrogen turns you into a ratchet, narcissistic, crazy feral cat. Basically, that's a good example of too much estrogen, a physical representation of too much estrogen. Mean Girls, Georgina, when she's like whacked out, right? She's eating all the protein bars and her hair is crazy and she's like getting super mean. That's a beautiful physical representation of estrogen dominance. When estrogen outweighs progesterone, it causes bloating, mood swings, breast tenderness is another one, and can also cause heavy periods. That's why it's always good to check like what's happening every cycle as well. Why does this happen? One of the biggest things why we get estrogen dominance is poor liver detox. We also plastics, so xenoestrogens, or stress blocking progesterone. So we can have things that aggravate or elevate estrogen, i.e. poor liver detox can elevate estrogen, but you can also get cortisol, which diminishes progesterone. Killer when you've got both of them. When you got too much stress and your liver isn't working so great, then it basically we're doing this. We're getting a bigger gap between the two. How do we fix this? Biggest, easiest way to just get this started off the get-go is eating cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are your broccoli, your cauliflower, your Brussels sprouts, those types of vegetables. They're really going to help with balancing out the hormones. If you suspect thyroid issues, then you would want to make sure that they're boiled really nicely. Raw cruciferous vegetables aren't always the best option for thyroid issues. You can dive a little bit deeper in another video on that one, because that's a really good, interesting topic to go into. Broccoli, cauliflower, kale is another one, and this will help your liver metabolize estrogen effectively. Then on the other spectrum, we want to manage your cortisol levels or your stress levels, things like doing restorative workouts, yoga, gentle Pilates, anything that's easy on the body and that you can help with the movement to release the stress will be great. And then obviously breathing is just phenomenal. If you can do a good breathing exercise every now and again, that works wonders. Right, number 2, blood sugar roller coaster. This is another really important one, and it can segue into other things like PCOS and whatnot. But for the sake of today, we're just talking blood sugar roller coaster, blood sugar spikes, basically, in essence. So the science behind a blood sugar spike: every spike in blood sugar, insulin will crash. No, insulin rushes in, and when insulin rushes in, naturally there's going to be a crash after that. So we get a blood sugar spike, insulin comes in, and then it crashes back down again. And this is basically gives you, or instigates, that tired, shaky, moody vibes. Okay, if you've ever not had sugar for a long time, and then you ate sugar, and then 10 minutes later you like feeling like a little jittery and a bit shaky and maybe a bit nauseous, that's the crash that happens after a insulin rushing in. So spike in blood sugar, insulin comes in, it crashes down, you get tired, shaky, and moody. That's the science behind it. Why does this matter in regards to the whole hormone thing? So chronic swings will instigate stress on your adrenals, and that messes with cortisol, which we don't want, because that will suppress progesterone, which we don't want. And this will worsen PMS symptoms. So naturally, if your adrenals are overworked or they're stressed out, your cortisol levels are going to get whacked out, which then could affect your progesterone, which then progesterone drop. Progesterone is like your happy, calm, chill, zen hormone. So it tends to drop just before your period, and if it's dropping too low because of things like cortisol or too much estrogen, and it's coming down too low, you end up being the cranky, snappy, feral cat. Yes. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, leave me a comment down below. I'm sure we're going to have a few women relating to this. Right, so how do we fix that? How do we fix the blood sugar roller coaster? Pair every carb with protein plus a healthy fat to keep levels steady. Carb with a healthy protein and a healthy fat. A healthy fat: nuts, avocados, olive oil, coconut oil, butter. You pair that. Healthy fats. And then with a good amount of protein with that carb. That should help a lot. You can also, if you really want to dive into it, you can also look at ordered eating. That also helps reduce insulin spikes, especially if you're very sensitive to your insulin spiking. Number 3, nutrient depletion, which again can also lead into multiple things, but we are keeping it quite broad for today. The science behind it: magnesium, B vitamins, and iron tank before or during your menstruation, and then stress will speed this up as well. We can see a common theme here. We all just need to chill the fuck out a bit more, right? Magnesium, B vitamins, and iron will tank before and during your menstruation, especially if you've got heavy cycles. They're going to tank even more. If we're not eating properly, you're most likely deficient in magnesium, because we don't get it as much in our food anymore. It's very difficult to get a good amount of magnesium from food nowadays, just because our soil is completely depleted. Also depending on where you're living in the world as well, depending on the soil quality. Why does this matter? Low magnesium will equal cramps and moodiness. Low iron will equal fatigue, like hectic fatigue. Like if you've got really low iron, sometimes you can't even keep your eyes open. And then low B vitamins equals poor hormone production. We need a good amount of hormone production to have a healthy, working, operating body. Those 3 are the really important ones to have in. How do we fix this in regards to making sure that we're keeping those vitamins in our system? So you want to replenish with leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and iron-rich foods alongside vitamin C. If you're doing this the natural route, you kind of want to try your best to do it from food without having to supplement too much, which is something I always would recommend first before dosing up with too much supplements, is going ahead with the food. Your leafy greens are phenomenal for getting all of those in there. Pumpkin seeds, if you have never heard of seed cycling, there's another video where I talk about seed cycling. It's phenomenal. It really does help get you all the vitamins and minerals that you need for the hormone production, specifically for your cycle. And then your iron-rich foods, make sure when you're eating your iron-rich foods that you have them with a little bit of vitamin C. So you can have a glass of orange juice or an orange itself, any good amount of vitamin C. There's a bunch of fruit that has a good amount of vitamin C in, that doesn't give you the sugar spike from orange juice. Next up, we've got inflammation and stress. So the science behind this: inflammation raises cytokines, and that disrupts hormone signaling. Now, stress equals or leads to high cortisol, which leads to blocking progesterone and your thyroid, and you don't want that, right? So we, again, theme here, cortisol. Chill the fuck up. It really does mess with a woman's cycle considerably. Are we designed to manage stress a lot more better and a lot more effectively as females? Yes, we are. However, we do nowadays live in a more high stress environment, and our bodies, we are seeing the ramifications of that. Really focusing on keeping your stress levels in check is really going to help with that. Why does this matter? PMS symptoms will worsen. Yes, PMS symptoms will worsen if the stress is out of control, right? Because then we're blocking that progesterone, we're blocking the thyroid from working effectively. Cycles will feel harder and your recovery will be slower. If you feel like you get whacked out the week before your cycle, you feel a bit better during your cycle, but you don't feel re-energized or ready to get back going after your cycle, it's probably a sign that you're a bit burnt out hormonally, and then we gotta kind of look into that. So how do we fix this? Anti-inflammatory foods, turmeric, omega-3s, and then we pair that with stress management. Things like yoga or breathing will be phenomenal. Anti-inflammatory foods, there are a bunch more over than just turmeric and omega-3s, and then something like turmeric is a great one because you can put it in a lot of food and you can make food taste great with it, which is exciting. A lot of people think healthy food's boring and bland. It doesn't need to be, and a lot of herbs and spices actually have some really phenomenal benefits. So topping in some turmeric, omega-3s, you can do the supplement, or you can do things like fish or oils to help you get in those omega-3s. Flaxseed oil is phenomenal. Sometimes some of my clients aren't too big on fish, so then I just tell them to take a teaspoon of flaxseed oil every day, and that pretty much gets you close to what you need. Okie dokes. Right, so your symptoms aren't random, they are signals from your body telling you what is going on, and it is our job as in not me as a nutritionist, me as a woman, it's my job to listen to my body and go, oh, I'm feeling this and this, these are the things I'm having, this could indicate this and this. So it's our job to kind of decipher those things, and I get it, not all of us know about the symptoms and what they could mean, and hopefully I can try and help you guys understand your cycles a bit better, so that you can feel better in your body. So we want to look at fixing the root causes of these hormonal imbalances so that we can feel better. You should not need to deal with PMS, you should not have painful periods, you should not be moody, you should not have to be cranky. That's not normal. It's all just signs that your body is done, and it just needs a little bit of TLC. Awesome stuff. That is it for today. If you are intrigued by what I've said today, you can check down in the description down below. There will be several links. You can go ahead, check out my free beginner's guide to cycle syncing. That will get you started on the right road to cycle syncing. It's going to help tell you what to eat for each phase, how to train for each phase. It also tells you what your period plan is trying to tell you. It's a really good indicator to find out kind of where your hormones are, is basically just assessing your menstrual cycle every month, and then you can get a good indication of where to start. Is it maybe just supporting the liver? Is it maybe breathing a little bit better? Like taking a few deep breaths every day could help you there as well, and that would be a really good start. There's also a bunch of other awesome things in there. I've got a beautiful 28-day program that you can jump in as well. It sets the foundation for cycle syncing. It gives you a really good grounding and a really good knowledge on your cycle, how to eat. There's a full meal plan, how to eat, how to train. It takes you day by day. It gives you the workouts, gives you what to eat, and all the little tidbits on how to track your cycle and manage and see the things that you need to see to understand what your body is trying to tell you. She's speaking to you and she maybe just wants a little bit of help. Okay, but that's it and done. Thank you so much for joining in. If you like this video, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe, stay tuned, drop your comments down below, ask your questions. I'm more than happy to answer any of them, and then I will see you guys on the next one. Cool. Cheers, bye.